You know, the world could always use more heroes.
What is going on, everybody? It is episode number 11 of Overcast. I'm Frosty, and joined as well with my friend, finally again, live on the show, Chris Matrix. How are you doing, my friend?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Since we had you right here
Oh,
in the studio.
since I've actually been on camera. Yeah, how's it going, everybody? Glad to finally be back, get my schedule somewhat stable,
Yours
and
and
now,
mine.
yeah, and now we can finally actually do this properly. I don't have to mobile in or anything.
Hey,
So,
it's great. It's great to have you back. Glad to be able to get this rolling. Thank you to all the followers and listeners that are in the chat right now, and everybody that's watching the stream. Also, remember to connect, if I can say the word, connect with us on Twitter at Overcast Show. Also, our blog page, which is the overcastshow.blogspot.com, where we post all of our information from our notes, or show notes, I should say, and any other things that we find out that we want to talk about. And then also remember, this is all under the umbrella of frozenfoxradio.com, where you can find this and all the other podcasts that we do over there. And the great thing this week is this has been the week where we launched the audio version of Overcast, so you'll be able to find us on iTunes now.
yes,
So
definitely. And Frosty, I think your audio's a little bit low. You might want to turn yourself up a little bit.
I'm getting it up there right now.
Okay, outstanding. All right, so what have you been up to in these past couple of weeks, Frosty?
Oh man, the last couple weeks I have been playing WoW. I've been trying to get as much gaming as I can done before school starts, because when law school gets rolling, it is like a madhouse. So I'm trying to get all the games finished that I haven't over the summer, and trying to do everything else that I can, because they've already sent us our first reading assignments. So it's like
Oh,
school's kind
joy.
of like already beginning. It's already here too soon, very very too soon. That
Yeah,
and Gamescom, like hypes for the new
yeah.
WoW expansion. I mean, really that was the biggest thing to come out of Gamescom, I think, in overall.
Yeah, with Legion being announced, it wasn't too expected to have anything major come from the Overwatch side of things, but Legion seems like it'll be all right.
Yep.
New class, nothing special or anything.
It'll be good. It'll be good. So we'll see. But anyway, what have you been up to? What have you been up to since we haven't seen your face on the show for a while?
Lots and lots and lots of work. Yeah, basically work, 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 playing tennis. Did absolutely horrible today, but we'll get past that. We'll move on from that one rather quickly. My brother's actually been in the hospital for about the last week with an E. coli infection, so I've been
Oh
taking care
wow.
of him. And so I've been a little ragged from the week, but you know what? I'm actually ready to get into some Gamescom goodness,
Well then let's do it.
especially with what was announced. So
Well,
I'm happy.
if you tuned in right before the show start, you kind of got that little preview because we were playing some of his music. You want to tell us what happened? Let's go first of all with the new hero.
All
That new
right,
hero.
so my bae Lucio was finally brought out of the woodworks, like out of nowhere too. I mean, we haven't seen him in any trailers. We hadn't seen him in any screenshots. They were
He
just like, let's just throw something that nobody's seen yet
he was
whatsoever.
he was in a poster, I think, or a piece of artwork, and I think that was the only time I remember seeing him.
I
So
don't remember seeing him in any of the artwork, but then again,
there's a
I,
lot out there anyways.
yeah, there's a cornucopia of all kinds of stuff Overwatch related. But what I like about him so much is he's based off of music, and music is one of my big things. So I'm looking forward to dropping the bass on people. I don't know about you,
It looks
but
like a lot of fun. I mean, the good thing for me is like, hey, you get some more support love in the game. So you know me, I'm gonna be all about the Mercy anyway. But
hmm
you got another support in there, so it's gonna be kind of fun,
yeah,
and a
and
very mobile one again.
yeah, we haven't seen too much about like his full on mobility, but he can buff people's movement speed, which is ridiculously amazing. I honestly cannot wait to see gameplay of him. or even hopefully to get to play them sometime in the future.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
Yeah, that'll be a flippin' blast. Also, we had two new maps coming out from the whole little presentation they did. There was nothing too great. I mean, like I even said on the last show, at Gamescom, we're probably going to get a new hero, and we might get one, maybe two maps. Just saying it right now. I called it.
That's
I
true.
called it.
You
I
did.
called
You
it.
did call that.
I mean, come on, people. I mean, I'm not that stupid. Um, but the new payload map, Numbani, was announced. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly
Yeah,
because I'll be
Numbani, I don't
honest.
know.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't get to see the full presentation because I was playing tennis this morning, and it bled right into that. So I didn't get to see the whole of it. But you know, that that actually brings up a good point, saying that like it's a payload map. I
Hmm.
don't know what Blizzard's plan is, but I don't believe that it's just going to be a payload map.
You think it's going to be more, huh?
Well, why wouldn't it? I mean, if they're taking all this time and effort to put into a map, they're not going to just have one game mode on the dang thing. I mean, come on.
That's true. That's
I
true.
mean,
It doesn't
they're
just have
taking
to be payload, like you said.
yeah, and if you actually look at the maps, like I did get a good look at the other map, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And if you actually look at it, it looks like there's different sections of the map that could be used for different game types.
Very good
You
point.
kind of follow what I'm
I
saying
see
there. I
what
mean,
you mean. Yeah.
if you look at it, if you look at the video that was released, it definitely looks like that you could have attack and defend on one area, payload on another area, and who knows, maybe other game types?
New
Question
slash
mark?
trademark game types that have been teased that we don't know about. But yeah,
Precisely.
here in Numbani, we're going to be getting again the Doom Fist makes a return, and we're going to be taking the Doom Fist back. So
Hmm.
we're going to
Yeah,
be getting that back to the museum. Apparently, you would think that we'd want to just keep it, but I guess if we would just want to return it to the museum, that's good too.
it belongs in a museum.
Apparently, it very much belongs in a museum. It's always in a museum whenever we see it, right?
Right.
We always wonder if we ever actually see Doomfist or not. So who
Yeah, but
knows?
what I do like about this map is it's very, it does seem to be a little bit urban, but it's still very much open.
Yeah,
I mean, there's plenty of elevation to go and play off of, but there's these big wide open streets. It's very, very aesthetically pleasing.
I agree.
I love the color scheme of it because, well, green's my favorite color, and there's green all over this daggone map. So it's going to be really interesting to see what this map is actually made of. I mean, we really haven't seen too much of very many of the maps. I mean, all we really have to go off of is what we've seen in gameplay videos, and a lot of the other maps seem to be a little more closed off, but Numbani seems to be a much more open concept.
Pretty open, yeah, and that kind of rolls right into Volskaya, our next map here. So this is going to be another attack and defend map, and its defining thing, I guess you could say, that they've been talking about a lot is its moving platforms. So,
Hmm.
we're going to have moving platforms that'll give maybe more immobile players a chance to be more mobile, play a different factor in this kind of map. That'll be kind of interesting to see, with people that are not like Mercy or Widowmaker like us. We'll be
Yeah,
able to
not
see
people that are highly mobile, the opportunity to get some elevation.
get somebody like McCree up there on a balcony somewhere.
Or
I don't,
Torbjorn,
or
or, you
Torbjorn,
know.
get Torbjorn as high as you can possibly get him.
Yeah, right. But this map, there's just looking at the screenshots, there seems to be a real closed off area. There
Yeah.
seems to be a real wide open area, which kind of leads into, okay, well, maybe the different parts of the map are going to be used for different game types. Maybe they're just going to use the whole dang thing for all the game types. We really don't know. But that's the kind of vibe that I've been getting. I don't know about everybody else, but it would be a daggone shame if Blizzard used a map for a single game mode. I mean, that's taking away from everything. Like, say I want to play attack and defend, but I want to play on Numbani. Well, if it's only a payload map, then I'm screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I want to play payload on Volskaya,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's just that mode of thinking that the maps I could say probably with a 95% certainty that it's not just going to be specific to one game type, these maps.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, and I would think that the only limitation that you'll ever see is that maps that weren't designed for payload, you probably just won't see payload, on
Mhm.
other maps if they weren't already designed for it, because that would require a redesign, of course.
Well,
But
I
bringing
also
other
don't
ones in,
see why Blizzard wouldn't design every map for payload.
at least from here
Kind of
on
get what
out,
I'm
right?
saying?
Yeah,
I, well, period. I
yeah.
mean, payload was the very first game type that they came out with. So why wouldn't they, you know, put every map like at least some sort of payload scenario, some sort of attack defense scenario, or some sort of you never know, capture the flag,
A little bit of
eh,
CTF action.
domination, yeah.
There you go.
I
There you
mean,
go.
to be completely honest, I can tell you right now, Overwatch is not going to launch with just two game modes. I mean, that would
Yeah.
be a huge faltering on Blizzard's part, and I know the people at Blizzard are way too smart out there to just be like, oh, we're just going to release with two game types. Maybe in beta we'll get two game types.
But not
Maybe
when it
we'll
comes
get a
out,
third.
though. I
But when release actually comes, guys, like, there's going to be more than two. I'm just putting it out there.
there's so many game modes that you could play with, and ones that we probably haven't
Mhm.
even seen yet, that you could just throw in here. And they've teased it too much when people ask them questions about it. We know that
Of
behind there,
course.
they're looking at it, and they just got to figure out what's the best. And they're gonna
Mhm.
they're gonna wait till they figure out what that is. So
Yeah. Oh, which, by the way, fall the 10th.
fall the 10th, yes, whenever that is. And
Jeff Kaplan, you
speaking
bastard.
speaking of trolling, what about when you woke up and all of a sudden Overwatch was on your launcher?
Oh god, the biggest troll ever. Thank you, Blizzard gods, for making me think for about 2 seconds that the Overwatch beta had already come out. Oh my god! I clicked on it,
Yep.
learn more. Like,
Here's
really?
here's the link to the website. Oh, but did you reorder your icons?
Oh my gosh. No, I did not reorder.
Oh, I saw like Vine after Vine of people reordering their icons, putting Overwatch at the top, things like that.
People, they'll do anything for a view. God,
Anything for what is it called? A revine? Not a revine, but a
a
loop. They call
repost.
it loops on Vine. That's what it is. So
Uh, yeah,
loop,
whatever.
increase that loop count.
Yeah. Oh man, that loop count though.
So we
Uh,
we got that, but we didn't get any other, big hints. There was one kind of subtle hint in that, and I'm having it on the screen right here. This is for the Axiom, and I noticed it when we saw the gameplay, kind of not gameplay, but the preview for Numbani. And
mhm.
Axiom, at first I thought that kind of could look like robot sword ninja guy, and then wait a second, other people on the internet pointed out if you look at the expanded character, one of there's like an art one. It's the same one that Lucio is in, I think. Um, but in the back, you'll see like almost like a shadowed out version of what Axiom looks like. So
Or you'll
possible,
just see the giant poster right there that says Axiom on it.
yeah. I, it's like, could it get any more obvious? I mean, we got
Like,
it. It's coming.
yeah, right. I mean, it's just it's not confirmed by any means, but I mean, come on, Blizzard.
Really, right?
I honestly don't think Blizzard would do something this obvious, but they could just be getting bolder and bolder because they are getting closer to beta. Which, as we went through the Gamescom stream, the developers kept saying, and I quote, "The beta's on the horizon.
Yes.
The beta is on the horizon." What we don't realize as the general public is Blizzard's horizon is probably about 500 miles out. So, fall the 10th, the beta's on the horizon. November 10th?
That's what I was thinking. You look at November 10th. It's the week after BlizzCon.
Right at the end, right at the end of fall.
Exactly.
Thank you again, Blizzard, for being the gracious, gracious people you are.
Waiting to literally the last minute.
I mean, that's typical Blizzard fashion. I mean, they give, oh, it's coming out in fall, or it's coming out winter 2012. Well, with Diablo 3, that came like 2 years later. But
Yeah, that was a little bit different. Yeah, but yeah, that whole teaser, man. But I'm with you. I mean, I could see them totally just waiting and just taking that little string and just dangling it in front of us all the way through BlizzCon, and then saying, okay, finally you get the beta. Finally.
yeah, I mean, if it comes out on August 10th, I will literally have an aneurysm. I mean, that's not going to happen. And if I'm wrong, thank goodness. But we're
I hope you're
at
wrong
this
for that reason.
at this point, if we're looking at the 10th of a month by the fall 10th, it's either going to be September, October, or November. It's not coming out in August.
Yeah.
I doubt it's coming out in September. I mean, that'd be a great birthday present for me. Eh?
Um,
Eh?
yeah,
Eh?
that would be. I was thinking, investor calls like are quarterly, so October-ish might be a good time too, because they could say, hey, beta is coming, and so you can get a little bump in investment, but we'll just have to
I mean,
see.
it doesn't even matter. It's Blizzard's first new IP in almost 20 years. People are already on board. People are already investing like stupid amounts of money into Blizzard right now for this new IP.
Yeah, if we could
And
pre-order the game, imagine how much money they'd make off it right now. If they were
oh,
just like, give
we
us
still don't know the
$10.
business model for Overwatch. Blizzard, hello. Oh, beta's coming. Oh, we might want to know how we're gonna pay for this.
Yeah, no kidding, right? But
Mm.
if they came to us right now and they said, drop $30 and you'll get exclusive content, I'll just leave it at that. I mean, wouldn't you do it?
They say drop $50, you'll get guaranteed beta access. Just shut up and take my money.
I know, right? I know. Seriously, they could do that. I'd be all over it. But oh
Like
well.
$100 for a collector's edition? Give me
Sold.
now.
I mean, I got the statue. I already gave you $150 for it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I already gave you money for this, this little bit of swag right here. I'm gonna probably spend another 2, 3, 500 more at BlizzCon
Oh yeah.
just on Overwatch crap. I mean, come on.
But
Give me a bone here, Blizzard.
but you wouldn't have that any other way.
Oh heck no.
Okay. Well then anyway, the only prediction that we really missed is that we didn't get Roadhog. So like,
You gave that prediction, sir.
okay,
Not me.
I missed that prediction. But Roadhog did not come, which was kind of sad. So I figured with all the hype that people generated on Reddit and online, and kind of what I would call like a unofficial reveal by the fans, that they kind of would just caved and given it to us. But maybe he's not ready. So
Well, we've got 3 months until BlizzCon.
yeah, a lot of
I
time.
mean, there's plenty of time in between there to have frickin' Ninja Guy, frickin' Roadhog, and then probably another one before even that. I mean, at the rate that Blizzard's been going, it looks like they're probably going to go into beta with almost 20 heroes. So,
And just to mention on that, one of the interviews they were talking about how they feel like they really have a good diverse set now of heroes. They'll expand it a little bit more, but kind of like what we've been talking about in some of the past episodes, saying how they're kind of just filling each one of those niches. Like
mhm.
here's the turret guy, here's the medic, here's the soldier, and they're just checking those off right now. Choom, choom.
And now here's the guy who drops a base on you.
And here's the guy who drops the base on you.
Honestly, Lucio is probably turned into most likely the hero that I want to play the most, just because I resonate with that kind of character a little more than, say, Widowmaker. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still, I got the love for the Widowmaker, but Lucio? Drop the base on people? Okay.
He's swaying you. Do I got to change the background?
You might have to, man. You just might have to.
We might have to work on that then. So
Yeah.
work on the overlay. All right, now this is the part of the show where we talk about, well, Ask Overcast. I'm checking to see if I'm going to refresh the page and see if I can find anything. If you're in chat and you want to ask us a question about Overcast, we will give it our go. Let me see if there's anything. I don't see any new questions loading up yet. How about you?
No, I don't think we have any new questions this week. So what we could do is we can just go ahead and delve right into the hero of the week, yeah?
Let's do it. And I'm going to turn it over to you because you are going to drop the bass on all of us right now.
All right, guys. So our hero of the week, of course, is Lucio Correa del Santos. New hero, of course, that was announced but a few days ago. He's coming out of Rio de Janeiro, of course. And guess what? Hey, I'm gonna be in Rio de Janeiro next year. Hey, 2016 Summer Olympics. Gotcha. So hey, even just all the better. Go over a little bit of his abilities. Of course, his primary weapon is the sonic amplifier, where he can fire out, little projectiles to deal damage, or he can just knock them straight on back with a huge burst of sound. Just knock them off the map. Drop the base, or drop them with the base.
Oh.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought is you could use it to knock them into either turret areas or out of. I wonder if you could knock them out of shield areas if they
Yeah,
were behind
you
a
can knock them
shield.
out of shield
So
areas. You can knock them out of objectives, so on and so forth.
you get him in
Um,
there, pick him off.
hmm
So
Oh, for sure. Next ability he has is Crossfade, which is basically he plays music and he energizes people around him, including himself, either healing them up or buffing their movement speed, which is just, I mean, come on, movement speed buffs people. You can't put you can't put too much value on movement speed. Being able to get to an objective faster than your opponent
oh yeah.
is invaluable, especially if it gives you that extra, 1 or 2 seconds to set up a decent defense or to stage an assault on an objective.
And being able to
Um,
get your whole team there, not even just like you or one other person.
mhm, but everybody around you. And the next ability actually kind of flows into that with Amp It Up, which increases basically his crossfade. It either increases the healing or increases the movement speed. If you've seen the videos on the website, on the Overwatch website,
Hmm.
you could tell it's a significant boost. I mean, the healing goes up dramatically. The speed, you're flying basically. And then what I really like is his ultimate ability, which is what they call Sound Barrier. Basically, he drops the bass, and
It's an awesome animation too. I love that
yes,
animation.
it's great. And your entire like everybody around you just gets these massive, massive shields. I mean, the shields themselves is more than like Tracer's base HP.
Yep.
It's just it's a ludicrous how much like I have a feeling that's going to get nerfed.
Probably.
I'm probably going to get nerfed pretty badly after he's been tested for a while, but dang, does it look amazing. A little bit into the backstory of Lucio. He is an international celebrity who inspires social change through his music and his actions. Of course, he grew up kind of in the slums of Rio. That was hit hard by the financial upheaval
Uh,
following the Omni crisis. Of course, when Brazil began the long process of recovery, he wanted to find a way to lift the spirits of those around him. So he found his answer in the music. In the music, yeah.
there you
So
go.
basically, he began performing on street corners, going to like parties. As he got older, a large underground scene kind of formed, and he was part of that. But then, of course, Vishkar Corporation came in, and they had a big contract to reinvent and redevelop large tracts of the city. Well, guess what? Well, Vishkar kind of just went all the way back on their promise, started imposing all
Yep.
these like outrageous rules and laws, like curfews. Um,
But what do you expect in a world dominated by evil
yeah,
corporations, right?
exactly. And they would crack down on what they thought were lawless behavior. Like, oh, you can't do this. This doesn't make us money. All that fun stuff.
Yep.
So basically, what Lucio wound up doing was stealing Viscar technology, and he converted it into a tool to rally them into action with music. So in a very big uprising, they actually wound up driving Vishkar out of the neighborhoods. So that basically just perpetuated him to stardom, like basically overnight.
Yep.
And
Zero to hero.
zero to hero, yeah. And because of that, his music just became more popular, and now he's this international superstar. So, I mean, he uses that to make a difference and to try to change the world for the better. Of course, being Brazilian, he does have some pretty wonky hair, which I like.
It's kind
And
of
then,
crazy, huh?
yeah, and dude rides on like Sonic rollerblades. Like, dude, I was such a huge fan of Jet Set Radio back when it was out on the original
Hmm.
Dreamcast.
Hmm.
And oh man, it's just like nostalgia factor is 12.
Hey, the dream could be real because did you see the video that was put out by
The
Lexus?
Lexus hoverboard.
Yeah, right,
Oh,
right. So you could
oh.
have like you could have these. These are the time is now. The time is now.
And it's gonna be awesome. But that is Lucio, ladies and gentlemen. And needless to say, I'm really looking forward to trying him out. I hope you guys are as well. Bryce, I know you're going to want to since you've got your support roots
I got
firmly set.
That's right. I will definitely want to give him a try. I want to zip around and I will look forward to dropping the bass on those people. And remember that we got reminded, like we said earlier in the show, fall 10th is when we're going to get the beta. So whenever that ends up being, we have no idea. Thanks, Jeff Kaplan, for the great hint that you provided us. So, uh, yeah. But make sure that you go and get your beta settings all set up on your Battle.net account. Make sure the little box is checked, or you will not get invited anyway. So if you, that's
And
our
you'll be a very, very sad panda
yeah.
when all your friends are sitting there playing Overwatch, and you're just kind of twiddling your thumbs over here like,
Yeah, I didn't sign up for the beta.
yeah, exactly.
It was your own fault then. But anyway, remember to do it. We try to remind you all the time to do it. So, and hopefully that works for us, and that we actually are able to get in, or at least one of us got it right, right?
Yeah, I would hope so.
But anyway, I think that brings us to the end. If
Yes.
I can see the show notes correctly, and I don't have any other questions coming through on the chat or anything. Thank you again, all of you, for joining us in the chat. It is great. We have an awesome chat room full of people, as well as I'm sure a lot of you will be listening to the audio version of this, so thank you.
Yes, and just a reminder, guys, just always make sure to follow us on Twitter, of course. You can catch Frosty over at FrostyFox. You can catch me over at Matrix Overwatch. You can always find us over at Overcast Show. Frosty does run it, but I look at it just about every day. So if you ever do have a question, you can always at them. You can always at me. You can always at Frosty.
Hashtag Ask Overcast.
Or the hashtag Ask Overcast. Of course, we'll be more than happy to answer any questions, either on the show live or we can DM you, we can at you, do whatever. So just always make sure at the Overcast Show. You can also find us over at our website, theovercastshow.blogspot.com. Again, a big thank you to Frozen Fox Radio, as always, for allowing us to do this show each and every week. And then also, don't forget to find us on iTunes.
And give us a thumbs up.
And give us those thumbs up.
That means the next show will take place the same time, which is 1 p.m. Pacific time and 4 p.m. Eastern time, depending on where you are in the country.
Yes.
And that will be on the 22nd right now, so 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from today, guys.
We'll be back right here on Twitch. And I'm sure we'll have some more exciting news to talk about as we kind of like come down from Gamescom and the interviews kind of roll out, so we can get a little bit more in depth, because the streams, you get a little bit of information, but a lot of that meat really comes from those interviews, and we kind of got to wait for those to cycle down. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once those come out, I mean, there's going to be probably another good 3-4 announcements. Maybe not major ones. Maybe there'll be interviews. Maybe there'll be little side shots, screenshots, what have you, that are going to come out in the coming weeks. Of course, we can't confirm any of that, but knowing Blizzard, they're going to keep the hype rolling all the way through BlizzCon.
Yep, they're going to keep it rolling. So thank you all again for joining. Can't wait to see you again in 2 weeks. We will see you right back here on Twitch and or on iTunes or whatever other source you listen to us on. So thank you very much. Thank you, Chris, for being here. So glad to be able to see your face and talk to you again. But anyway, we will end on that note. Thank you very much, everyone who joined us, especially here in the chat as well. And we will see you again next time.
Stay awesome, Gotham.